Hello, everyone. My name is Javo. Welcome to the channel. And today we will be ranking these rivalries from best to worst. So we have the rivalries of Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker versus Kane, and Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. Now, I'm gonna go over these in an individual level. So let's first start off with Roman and Rollins. And I know a bit more about this one because obviously I grew up with these guys. And honestly, because technically I grew up with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker and Kane too. But this rivalry is more recent history. So these two never really had a long-term feud. Like, and the other guys, you can say, okay, they had a feud that had months of matches. You can say that. These two never really did. Because let me tell you their matches, and this is off the top of my head. So correct me if I'm wrong here, and if they had more matches. But the first time I can remember Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns having a one-on-one match was on an episode of SmackDown. I think in 2014, 2015, where Rollins loses to Reigns. Then I think their next match is ironically for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, where Rollins beats Reigns and then gets cashed in on by Moxley. Their next match, I think, is a random episode of Raw where Roman beats Rollins. Then next, I think it's the Gauntlet match where Rollins beats both Roman and Cena and wrestles for an hour doing so. Then, I can't think of any other singles matches those guys had around that time. So I think the next match is that Royal Rumble where Rollins comes out in the Shield gear. And their feud is more psychological than them wrestling each other. But like those two never really got at it. Like that's what, 6 matches I listed? You look at the other guys, they definitely wrestled more than 6 times. And not to mention, like, maybe even like tag team matches, I'm assuming they've teamed up, teamed up against each other multiple times, but not that much. I guarantee you, not that much. Like, of course, there's that WrestleMania match between Roman and The Rock versus Cody and Rollins. And Rollins obviously gets involved in the Mania main event at 40 to help Cody win. But still, like, I wouldn't even list, who would I list Roman's greatest rival? But I don't know, but something tells me it's not Rollins. Maybe it is. Danielson, yeah, Danielson maybe. His family is his greatest rival. You can argue Brock, but I don't think it's Rollins. Those who never really got into it. So honestly, for this, I'm pinning this one low. This one is at the bottom tier, but I think because usually when they want to do something, one of them gets injured, ironically, because Roman first goes down with an injury when they're supposed to face at a pay-per-view. Rollins gets injured and they're supposed to face for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Then they're kept apart for the most part. Then they don't really wrestle much because I think both men are baby faces around the 2018, 2016, 2017, 2018 time period, because Rollins turns heel in 2019 with the Monday Night Messiah. They're on separate brands for a short period. Then Rollins goes to SmackDown, but Reigns is a heel, so Rollins and Reigns can't get into it because they're both heels at this time. So many factors going against them here. But yeah, these guys are low. They don't have. They usually have good to great matches together, but not on the level of the other guys. Now we have Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Their SummerSlam '02 match, amazing, absolutely amazing. But the thing about this feud is, it goes on too long, and for the most part, their matches are too long. I remember recently, WWE aired, I think it was either their Three Stages of Hell match or their Hell in a Cell match. I remember some people like, oh, why are people hating this match? Why are people saying it's too long? Firstly, because it is too long, but also, imagine if most of their matches are like this, and you're just, at this point, sick and tired of seeing these guys wrestle. That's what this was like. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of sick of seeing these two wrestle all the time. Like, they don't have a terrible match, but Triple H, and this is a bit unfair to say, Triple H is not great. Is not great enough to be wrestling a 40-minute match. You know what I mean? Like, their feud feels like it went on too long, and it dragged multiple times, it felt like. But I still put it above Roman and Rollins because they did have multiple matches and great stories together. While Rollins and Reigns never really had that chance to do so. They've told they do I think they have a more interesting dynamic comparison to Triple H and Michaels, but they never got into it the way that Triple H and Michaels did. So, yeah. Kane and The Undertaker. Now, these two technically had multiple feuds. They've had actually two really bad feuds. One when Undertaker returned as the Dead Man, and their 2010 feud, terrible. Absolutely awful. Like, people won't talk about it, but those feuds suck. And honestly, most of their matches aren't great, but for storyline purpose, it's pretty high. It's a high story. Like, and during this time, like when Kane first came in, it's like he's far more interesting than The Undertaker. And mainly because Kane is a fresh new toy. But Kane is a menace. And Undertaker feels like peak form. Technically, he's not, because I think his his '05 to '10, or maybe '12. No, '12. What? Yeah, 2005 or 2004 to 2000. No, not 2004. That's not a great year for Taker. But I would say 2005 or 2006 to 2010 is peak Taker, which is ironic because that's later in his career. So that's ironic to me. But still, great story. The matches aren't amazing. Most of the Undertaker and Kane matches, they aren't great. I think their best match is Mania, I think it's 15, I want to say. Mania 15. But they've had plenty of matches after that, but nobody really talks about the others. They've had a terrible Hell in a Cell match in 2010, multiple bad matches, but still, in terms of character, lore, and connection, I think this goes maybe above. Yeah, I think this goes above. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and finally, Steve Austin and The Rock. This is obviously one of the greatest feuds in WWE history. And when you think of Austin, you may think of, there's two guys you would think of. You either think of Vince or The Rock. Because let's compare it to these guys. When you think of Rollins and Reigns, you think of each other, but you can also think of, let's say, Cody. You can think of a Danielson. You can think of those other great feuds. With Triple H, you can think of a Batista, you can think of a Cena, you can think of an Orton. Michaels, you can think of a Brat. You can think of a Taker. You can think of who's another feud of, because I said Hart. Maybe yeah, Michaels. He had another underrated feud with Jericho. Both feuds between Jericho actually with Shawn Michaels, but with Austin and The Rock, those are they are synonymous with each other. You can maybe argue with Triple H, like in terms of these The Rock and Triple H, forever rivals. But this is the rivalry here. And look, realistically, I should be favoring this because this is the look. I'm born in 1999. In internet terms, I'm a nunk. So I wasn't really. I was alive for this, and Jesus Christ. Apology for the home for the car if you can hear that. Jesus Christ. I was alive for this, but not so. You know, because I'm 3 years old. Here, I'm more. I'm aware of all the history here, obviously, but I also in real time watched it 2010 in their 2000 and what year did Taker return as Deadman? I think '04, I believe. I'm not alive for this at all, basically, because I think their last match is in '03. I'm gonna say '03, '02. So I'm like, no, so it's I think it is I think it is '03. So I'm like 4. But still, this is the feud of the Attitude Era. The feud that you watch as a wrestling fan. Like, I want to be these guys. These are the guys I'm going to be like. These two are badass. These two are awesome. Great matches, great promos, great chemistry. Because look, Kane and Undertaker's chemistry is not great. You even go back and look at their tag stuff. Like, they just don't sell for the most part, especially back in like 2000s. They don't sell, so the chemistry is usually off. Their chemistry is usually great, but they gave it to us too many times, their matches. These guys didn't have enough matches, which is weird. But these two, great matches, great moments, classic. So my final ranking, and honestly, it's going by the order. So we have Reigns, Rollins, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Taker, Kane, and finally Austin, Rock. But I am curious to see what does the comments have to say. So let's see them. And I think this person mostly agrees with me. So Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, Taker, Kane, Triple H, Michael. Oh wait, no, they don't. So, okay, so, because look, Shawn Michaels and Triple H has better matches than Kane and Taker. Maybe that's something I should have thought about. Yeah, they definitely had much better matches than them. And also, that 2010 rivalry really does weigh down Kane and Taker. So you know what? That's valid, so I'm going to switch. I think that's very, very valid. Damn, really down below for this guy. Rollins and, yeah, like, why the gap? Okay, yeah, this is something I really think. Roman and Rollins rivalry is more personal than any of these, but Rock Austin overall, very true. Yeah, like, this, because when I think of rivalries of Shawn Michaels, I think of Brat. I don't think of Triple H. I think of Jericho more than I think of Triple H. No, I disagree with that. The rivalry is definitely not just a screw job. Like, and you just hear an ambulance is going by, it's going off because of because the sweet chin music to Michael's by onto Hart is definitely not more than a screw job. They've had classics with each other, not just a screw job. So this person says basically a similar list. Yeah, everybody's basically saying a similar list. Who? Okay, firstly, how? No, this guy is a clown. How the hell do you have Undertaker and Kane at number one? I think for character wise, maybe like how synonymous they are, but match quality wise, it's like no, not even close. Not even close. That's hilarious. Okay, hold up. What's the other reply here? Don't be anything lewd. Honestly, best wrestling story ever told. Such a great story between Kane's debut in the 2000. Okay, it is. It was uh, WrestleMania 14, not 15. There's a Survivor Series match. Kane burying the Undertaker alive. There, but that Mania 20 match is not great. In their trilogy, Taker pinning over Kane. That's not a great feud. It's not a great feud. Like that 2010 one is not great. The match at Mania is not great between Taker and Kane at Mania 20. In that Survivor Series match, Kane comes out of nowhere and helps Vince bury the Undertaker. So, Jesus Christ, like that's not even here, but obviously that would be like oh, where would that be? Okay, now I'm just thinking of something different, but that's very high. Yeah, great shout, great shout. Yeah, yeah, this is the same answer accidentally clicked. Yeah, not bad, but I'll put Rollins higher. Really interesting. I didn't realize that. They never really got into it though. That's my issue. Like they're forever synonymous, and these guys they both still feel the effects of Rollins' betrayal. Still to this day, that happened in 2014, but they never really got into it. Because honestly, that I think it's so unfair for those guys. Um, Undertaker Kane in the road to WrestleMania 14, honestly, greatest story told in company history. Shortly after Mania in 1997 to Mania the following year, everybody played their roles perfectly, and Paul Bearer he's definitely missed. It was quote unquote cinema. Okay, this person explained. Okay, oh, so this person has Taker Kane at number one, but also you have to add into the fact of their other feuds because it's not just one; they've had three separate feuds. I'll explain my number three, Austin and Rock, were arguably the two biggest stars in industry at the same time. But if you take away their three Mania matches, the two of their title matches, two of them world title matches, what was their feud really about? So, I think their general feud, because we gotta remember how their feud started. It started because Austin got injured. Then, The Rock became the corporate champ, and The Rock was in the way of Austin getting to McMahon. So that was one of the things. But then later it became more of a competitive rivalry, at times between two faces. So I think that's my thing. I'm going to read this one. So this one's interesting. Steve Austin and The Rock. I don't know why I read Steve Austin. It's just so cool. Two of the greatest performers. Great on the mic. Triple H Michaels, generational man, the rivalry. It was just untouched. Roman and Rollins. Stupid personally. That's why it's number three in Undertaker and Kane. I do like this feud, but I don't see a lot of it. So yeah, honestly, I think I do. I still do believe Michaels and Triple H went on too long, and they did the matches too much. But Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? So let me know all that in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully you guys did enjoy this YouTube video. This is actually my first proper YouTube video, because the other ones I did upload, those were shorts that I didn't realize exceeded the time for a short, so I just uploaded them as videos. But this is the first proper video that I'm actually doing on this channel. So let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see more long form content from me. But for now, I will see you guys next time.